Hi, my name's Curtis Miller with Connect Ed. I'm one of the founding members of Project Clusterflocks, named after bird behavior, particularly the way that they flock together and how that is relationally and oriented around small groups and identity and all that kind of stuff. The goal of Project Clusterflocks is to facilitate the creation of a self organizing network of small groups, people in relationship with each other who gather regularly and intentionally to share stories and figure out who they are, what they do in the world, and what they need so that they can have a deeper experience of belonging that will make them healthier and more effective in their context, whether that be home, work, neighborhood, whatever it is. Those small groups are intended to be connected to each other, the groups themselves connected to each other, so that resources can flow through the network, thus making it self-supporting rather than reliant on a leadership team or something like that. One of the things that comes up a lot is discussion around our definition of belonging. And so I wanted to take a minute and explain what we mean when we say belonging. So the first part of it is, well, and this is largely in response to the common understanding that belonging is either a sense or a feeling, something like that, that it's a byproduct of something. And our contention is that belonging is fundamental, like gravity. And so when you feel belonging, you're actually feeling the presence of a thing that exists, that we exist in. Just like when you feel heavy, you're feeling the existence of gravity, but the feeling isn't the thing itself any more than, feeling in a hurry is what time is. Time is a bigger thing. The feeling rushed is a byproduct of it. Belonging is similar in that it is fundamental to existence itself. It is energy and forces like electromagnetism and gravity and things like that, but primarily relational and biological and mental and emotional that push and pull our bodies, hearts, and minds in patterns that form structures, relational patterns that organize and form structures of belonging. And what's important to understand is what is being pushed and pulled by those forces into those patterns that form those structures. Primarily, we're talking about us, the people, but this is true about everything that exists. What's being pushed and pulled is a three-parted thing. Everything that exists is made up of three parts, three balanced forces. The first one is identity, an essential kind of beingness that emerges out of the universe. Some people say God creates it. Some people say it's accidental. And there's lots of different versions of those two stories. But however we got here, each of us and each other thing in the universe is a thing. It has an identity that is core to what it is. And that thing, that identity, does something. It naturally produces an effect. It has energy that flows from it that has impact on the world around it. And that's its purpose. So we have an identity and a purpose that are intrinsic. And there's a set of needs. And when those needs are met, the identity and purpose are optimized. So that's what we're talking about when we say belonging, is identity, purpose, and needs, that three balanced thing that each person is, and each thing, whether it's a beaver, a liver, a tree, or a planet, has that identity, purpose, and needs that are in relationship with other identities, purposes, and needs. And when they're aligned according to those identity, purposes, and needs, we experience belonging. We experience harmony and effectiveness and health. It is produced by our efforts to participate in belonging. But belonging is not something we create. We don't make it. We figure out how it works and then we align with it, just like we do gravity. If we make a plane, we're not defying gravity, we're participating in it in a creative way. And that's something that humans have capacity for around the idea of belonging. Its existence is to cooperate with it, participate with it, innovate within its boundaries in ways that increase human health and productivity. So that's what belonging is: energy, patterns, structures made up of identity, purposes, and needs that are organized in healthy ways. And that does actually produce positive feelings and sensations. So it's not bereft of that, it's just that the feelings and sensations are byproducts. They're indicators of successful participation in belonging, and they tell us when we're clashing with the forces and patterns of belonging. So they're very useful. Anyway, I hope that clears it up. Thanks for listening. Tune back in for more fascinating stuff about belonging and storytelling and cluster flocks and all those good things. Thanks.